welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Amelia and I'm so excited to be starting a channel this year. Today's video is going to be a what I read in 2023, my TBR for 2024, and what I've already read this year so far. I am so excited to get started with this because I haven't been able to consistently read for a couple months now. I've literally only read one book this year. I'm hoping that this is gonna motivate me to read more consistently. Let's get into it. In 2023, I read only 10 books. I know, I feel like that's crazy to want to be a booktuber and only have read 10 books in 1 year. But I don't care because a reader is a reader. If you only read one book in 1 year, you still read a book. You still like reading. These are the 10 books that I read last year. Normal People, rated that 5 out of 5 stars. Beautiful World, Where Are You? 4.75 out of 5 stars. Firefly Lane, 3 stars out of 5 stars. Twisted Love, 1 or 2 out of 5 stars. Without Merit by Colleen Hoover, 3 out of 5 stars. The Silent Patient, 6 stars out of 5. It was amazing. Based my whole personality off of it for a couple months. Maybe Someday, also by Colleen Hoover. 2.5 stars out of 5 stars. It was really weird. Same thing with Twisted Love. In both books, I didn't really like the way that the love story panned out. One of them had cheating, one of them was just really absurd. The male character is bonkers. The 8th one that I read was Ugly Love, also by Colleen Hoover. I know. That one I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Very spicy and emotional. It was pretty good. It was just out there a little bit. The 9th book that I read last year is Akatar. I'd have to give that one a 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't love it. I don't know if I want to continue the series. It's just kind of boring to me. The last book that I read was One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I liked that one a lot. It was good. I thought the story was cute. So those are all of the books that I read in 2023. Now we're going to get into my TBR for 2024. To start off, I'm going to get into what I've already read this year, which is one book, and that's fine. It's fine. I'll find time eventually. I read Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. I'd have to give this one 3 out of 5 stars. This wasn't my favorite, but it does have a lot of really good topics in there. Very feminist, but I will say it was definitely enjoyable. I liked the storyline. I was entertained throughout it. Wasn't struck by it. It didn't create a spark within me. The writing style wasn't for me, but I see why other people really like it. I see why it's a bestseller. It just wasn't my personal favorite. So let's get into my TBR for 2024. So the first one that I'm going to be reading this year is The Love Hypothesis. This is the first ever Ali Hazelwood book that I'm going to be reading. I was so excited to try her books because I've seen so many different videos talking about how good that they are. That's really exciting. I saw that this was probably the most popular one, and I was like, okay, better start off with that one before I branch off into something different and then I don't like it and then I'm like, I don't want to read any of her books ever again. Yeah, starting off with this one, and so far, love it. I'm obsessed. The plot is so cute to me. This is my type of romance for sure. This book has me giggling and kicking my feet. It says, as a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what got her into this situation. Convincing Anne that Olive is dating and well on her way to a happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof. So, like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. She's in this situation where her best friend wants to date her ex-boyfriend. She doesn't care at all. When her best friend walks by, she kisses the first man that she sees. She's panicking, I need to prove to my best friend I've moved on from my ex. I'm in love with somebody else. She can have her happy life, live her happy life that she wants to. It starts this fake dating relationship. I just think it's the cutest thing ever. I can't remember exactly what page I'm on. I know, call me crazy, I don't use bookmarks, I don't dog ear my pages. Needless to say, I love this. I think it's really cute and I can't wait to finish it. Next up, we have a good one. Little Life. I have seen so much about this book. Everybody says it'll make you bawl your eyes out. Don't read this at all costs. There's so many trigger warnings. I have seen it all. I am well aware. I am trying to prepare myself for what I'm getting into. I have already read 100 pages of it and I had to stop because I was getting depressed. That is why I'm reading this at the current moment, because I got 100 pages into this at the very beginning of this year. I just couldn't do it at that point in time. Seasonal depression, not good. I'm saving this for when I am in a good mood because I know it's absolutely going to wreck me. That's okay. Sometimes you need that. Next up, I'm so excited for this one. I love all of her other books. This is the last one that I need to read. It is Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I personally love her writing style. It's one of my favorites ever. I've read Normal People and Beautiful World, Where Are You? When I first started reading Normal People, I could not get into it. I was like, this is ridiculous. Her writing style, like, I don't understand. There's no quotation marks. How am I supposed to read this? But lo and behold, I finished it. I read all the way through. After I started watching the Hulu series, I was like, okay, this makes so much more sense. I need to read this book. So I stopped the Hulu series halfway through and then I read through the entire book and then I finished the Hulu series because I didn't want to completely watch the TV series before I had read the book. A pride ego thing, I guess you could say. I was so obsessed with it. It made so much more sense to me. I was able to completely understand the book. I could relate to a lot of it. It was so special. I also understand why some people don't like it, why people don't like her writing, why they can't get into it. I totally get it, but the way it was written, everything that was talked about, especially mental health, it's just something that's so important to me. So it really, I felt what she was trying to convey. So I read Beautiful World, Where Are You? Really enjoyed that one, not quite as much as Normal People. Now I want to read the last one. There's also a Hulu series for this book. I haven't started that one yet. I want to read the book first. I'm excited, and I like that her books are kind of small, so it's easier to digest, especially because her writing style is so different from anything I've ever read. Next up, we have Legends and Lattes. I don't really read a whole bunch of fantasy. I did read ACOTAR last year. I was about to say, I don't think I've read any fantasy last year, but I did. Basically, I used to read a bunch of fantasy in middle school, obviously, like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, stuff like that. I've seen a lot of reviews saying it's really lighthearted, easy to read, it's fun. Other than that, I don't really know much about the story other than it's just trolls or ogres or creatures making lattes, and lattes are something I'm obsessed with as well, so it'll be fun, especially since I'm trying to be in a more lighthearted mood before I read Little Life. Next up, we have The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. This one I saw at Barnes & Noble. I just thought it was so cute. The cover and everything, it's so simple. It looks hand-painted. I thought it was perfect for picking up around Valentine's Day. I was just treating myself to this one, really. It's just a romance. It's about a guy and a girl who end up sharing an apartment. Spoiler alert, I think they fall in love. Tiffy, the main character, she gets in a bad breakup, so she needs a place to live, fast and cheap. The apartments in her budget have her wondering if astonishingly colored mold on the walls count as art. Desperation makes her open-minded, so she answers an ad for a flat share. Leon, night shift worker, will take the apartment during the day, and Tiffy can have it nights and weekends. He'll only ever be there when she's at the office. In fact, they'll never even have to meet. I thought it looked so cute, so I just picked it up. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. I got these books a year ago. Some of them I actually got 2 years ago, and they've just been sitting on my shelf, and I really want to read them, but I can't get in the mood to. So the first one that we have is The Book Eaters. It was really sweet sweet because I'm a barista and one of my customers had this book in her hand and I was like, hey, I want to read that. She was like, oh my gosh, whenever I'm done, I'll come back and give it to you. So she did, and I think that was just so sweet. Love that. This one seems really interesting. I think it's about people eating books and they just like gain whatever knowledge from that book. I really have no idea what the storyline is for this. I really want to be in the mood to read this one day, maybe probably around Halloween this year, just because it's so weird of a concept. But that's what intrigues me. Next up we have Fourth Wing. I got it last year and I tried reading it. I got like 70 pages in and I couldn't do it for whatever reason. It wasn't sparking much interest with me. I feel like if I'm not getting into it within 100 pages, then it just isn't gonna do it for me. So I'm mostly waiting for whenever I'll just be in the mood to read this, because I do like fantasy and I want to get back into reading fantasy. Maybe I just need to get a little further and it'll be better. But I've heard lots of mixed reviews about this book. I'm wondering if I'll just be one of those who doesn't really like it that much. We'll see. Hopefully this year if I get to it. Then we have People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I, again, couldn't get into this one and it just doesn't really seem like something that I would usually read. But I hear so many good reviews about Emily Henry. The booktube girlies that I watch just absolutely love her and her writing. Maybe I just need to read a different book of hers, but this one is so popular. Maybe I just need to, again, get further into it and maybe I'll enjoy it. We'll see. Then we have the Shatter Me series. Actually, I'm so excited to read this one, but again, like I just need to be in the mood for it. I tried reading a couple pages of it, but I think I just like wasn't in a reading mood at that time. It was just like going by really slow. I don't really understand what's going on, but I hear so many good reviews about this book and the series. Again, maybe someday, maybe this year, maybe next year. And there we have it. That's my TBR for 2024. Hopefully I can get through everything, but if not, I have set a goal for myself because I read 10 books last year. I'd like to read at least 11 this year. I do feel like that is such a low goal, a low standard for a reader, but again, like, doesn't matter. A reader is a reader. Yeah. I am probably going to go on a walk because it is a beautiful day outside today and it's almost sunset. It's perfect weather. Chef's kiss.